Alright, this has been bothering me since yesterday afternoon, all through the evening. I slept like shit because I want to get this correct. So, of course, I'm back here. It was always going to happen. Um, I've had several ideas on how I can fix this, all of which have involved just using different tools, and it'll probably be fine. But I hate everything about this. This is not okay. So, I'm going to start by fixing that. Which means I'm probably going to have to heat some stuff. Just smush it in here and then smooth it over and then, yeah. So, I'm going to wander over here with the heat gun because there's no point in having the camera facing this because I'm going to spend most of my time actually dealing with stuff. Now, this is before work, so I don't have a lot of time. But oh well. I have enough time. Literally just been plaguing my mind. So I had to do something about it. I couldn't just leave it. What do I want to do this with? Yeah, I have a bunch more tools now, which is great. So, yeah. I'm just going to try and plug these holes because they are awful and I hate them. But I think I know what I want to do with all of this now. So it's exactly what I said yesterday, wherein I was at it for too long. I was overcommitting to something that clearly wasn't working. And yeah, just a whole heap of rage, really. And I know myself well enough to know that if I don't fix this, it's going to be really, really bothering me. So that's why I'm here now. Am I even using this? No. Okay. Yes, I was using all of these, but I was using other stuff as well. Like, where have I put everything? Not this one. It was this one. Okay. And this. But I can do that after I've smushed things. Wasn't using this one. Wasn't using this one either, but oh well. It'll do the same thing. I can just smush it in, and I can rake it after the fact. I think I know how to approach this now, I think. Mulling it over. I have several ideas. So we'll see. We'll see what I can come up with in the very brief time frame that I have this morning. Wildly frustrating. But I had to do something with this. It was just pissing me off too much. Got up to go to the gym. It's like, no, I can't walk away from this. Genuinely can't. I have very little time this morning to spend on this. Very little time indeed. Why? You like this? Why are you a mess? Whole area. Just a big old dent. I need to try and fix it. I just refuse to be beaten by this. Got a bad feeling about work today. Feel like it's gonna be kind of terrible. So yeah, not looking forward to my day today, if I'm honest. Kinda would rather just be here doing this. If I can at least get the surface workable again. And that'll be a plus. Better than it was. Not ideal, but better than it was. Better, closer, warmer, yada yada yada. Right. Better than it was. That is definitely better than it was. better. Good enough, to be honest. It's the only issue. Having things split and crack because they're cold, so they're rigid, and you know the deal by now. God, this is maddening. Right. Good enough. Is it though? Not really, no. Hate everything. Let me go heat this up again. Ugh. It's just so frustrating, good God. I'm gonna heat this up, bring it back, put some more stuff in some more places, and yeah. Smush this on here. Fill that gap. That is annoying me. Something up in here, because that's annoying me also. As I say, I think I have a plan. Fueled by rage and pirate metal this morning. And spite. The refusal to leave this alone. I need to fix it. Do I have any smaller? No, is this going to be of use to me? Kinda. Not as good as this, though, realistically. Like, it just isn't. I kind of need a smaller version of this. Because I'm making kind of a mess of everything at this point. I have a palette knife. This one. That works. Works well enough. Again, to what extent does a lot of this even matter? Really? So I want it to be stone-like anyway. So actually having it more sculptural is not a bad thing. Again, it's the balance between OCD, perfectionism, and am I just coping? Is this cope? Probably. I don't mind the aesthetic. Again, I don't want it to be perfect. That's the whole point. If it's like that, I just have to be consistent. Which I suppose is doable. I just have really small, flat pieces that I set in and faff with to create more of the cracky bits. Because I kind of actually don't mind how that looks. I guess I just then kind of try and replicate it elsewhere. Yeah. Okay, actually, something positive has come of this because I like the way that looks. I think it was too perfect. I think on a texture front, looks quite nice. Like, the texture is cool without it actually compromising how nice the shape is. That was my concern. Didn't want it to impact how slick the shape was. Now it's going to be a question of how much do I faff with this? Am I going to be here forever doing this now? Because I might be. Knowing myself as well as I do, am I going to obsess over this now? Yes. Yeah, I like the kind of cracky, bumpy sort of look. I do like it. But then I gotta remember there's gonna be a big old snaky thing that runs down here anyway, so does it actually matter right now? Probably not. So, anyway, my plan is to take this, but it's such a mess. I knew it would be, but it is just a mess. So, let me see if I can draw this in. This. And then my thinking is that I will go over this with a couple of different tools and see if I can get a line that better suits what I'm actually thinking for this. See, that actually is not terrible. So what I think I'll do is that, and then I have this, or I have the end of this. That seems too thick. So I think I use this. I like silicone sculpting tools. I think just get one of these. I think I keep everything super duper surface. And I just accept that that's how this is going to go. I like that a lot better. Do I have other options? See, that for me is too thick. So I have a bunch of sculpting tools. Let me just grab them and see whether I've got anything. It's more thinking this one. Ideally, something even smaller. Maybe. Which of you is smaller? Probably you. You seem too big still. What about you? You're definitely too big, really. Too big, okay. So not that. Not that, really. That's not working either. What about you? Ooh. Maybe. Maybe. And I don't want it to be too deep, though, so... Pin in that. Not gonna be you. You're gonna be too wide. Maybe you, actually. again, I want to keep this really surface, I think. That's the key to this. It might be this one, actually. It might be this. Not the worst. Not the best either, but it's not the worst. What about you? I think maybe a combo. Yeah, combo might be okay. And I kind of like the more faded look. So do I even need to go over them? Well, I'm wondering. I think maybe I do for these, but I won't for the main lines. Maybe. Maybe. It's not the worst. I just have to make sure I'm not settling. Is that super, super likely? Definitely better having them more surface. Definitely. I think this is a better tool for it. And I can kind of push stuff in rather than have it all spill out. It's what made it look so yucky in the first place. Better. That is definitely a lot better. I think this is the tool to use for these. I would wager. I think I detail all of these, and for the majority of the lines on things like the sort of upper lap bit, I think I can just leave them as indentations, really, rather than having to go over anything. Okay. think this is going to be the way to do this. I'm going to have to be pretty time conscious this morning, though. Annoyingly. Definitely more okay with that. Definitely more so. Just have to be careful that I'm not getting too deep. I've got to try and keep it really surface, which is not particularly easy. Getting too deep in over there. Also absolutely going to do my back in, but oh well. That is a future me problem. Wonder whether I can get anything flat in there. What if this ends up being the strat and I should have just done this from the get-go? Because there's every chance. Chip off whatever's on here currently. I think it's wood. This is a whole strat. That's a nice way of doing things. That is definitely a nice way of doing things. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. Duly noted. I can at least do it for all the outer lines. Cool. The inner is going to be more difficult because I need to have an even smaller squared bit. Just something flat. Do I have any of these that are squared off and flat? Kind of. Kind of. If I can use this for in here. I kind of can. Again, I gotta be careful to keep it surface. Because if I go too deep, that's when it looks really crummy. Okay. Okay, that's a lot better than it was yesterday. Good grief. So that. I suppose that to an extent. I'm not using any of these currently. I'll put those away so I don't get confused. I think this is working out a lot better. Certainly a lot quicker than it was yesterday. It's not too bad. That's a lot better. So I wonder whether I can just... Of not a bad strat. Yeah, that works pretty well. Suppose if I then do this bit with this. This. That's not bad. It's not bad. Okay. I go in there afterwards with this. That's pretty good. Alright. It's not terrible. I'm getting there with this again. Yeah. Not bad. Definitely looks a hell of a lot better than it did yesterday. Good God. Okay. I feel a lot better looking at this now compared to yesterday. Hopefully that will be enough to stop me going nuts today at work. Knowing that I've at least achieved something. Yeah. It is pretty okay. All things considered. I can be less mad about it now. This is also a million times quicker, so another reason to be less mad. Actually getting somewhere, and getting somewhere reasonably quickly, which is huge. Still use this in here, right? Kind of can. Yeah, this looked so ugly yesterday. Like I couldn't deal with it, and I just felt like I was wasting my time because I was. I knew I was. And that's why sometimes I just have to force myself to stop. And this one's going to matter less because this one shouldn't even be seen. So whatever. Really. Yeah, I prefer the textures around these. I ought to call it quits there. Again, no one's going to see that. It doesn't matter. Just smooth this out a bit because it's a little bit of a mess and I don't enjoy that whole bunch. Again, there's a difference between it's the aesthetic and hope. Plus, now I know that I can just go in with this. I'm way less bothered. Okay. So, now that I have this at a point I am way more okay with, wonder what I can do with the snaky thing. It's easy enough to see those, I suppose. Everything seems fairly even. So I'm cool with that. So actually, while I'm here, what I should do is address this front face. So where is that? There it is. Come here, you. This. So if I use the same method as last time, it's going to be difficult because of where the webcam is, so bear with me. Okay. What that gives me. It gives me something. Just going to be hard to see unless I twist it. Yeah. Okay. Can I move this to get a better look at what I'm actually doing? Kind of. Right. Let me just see. Yeah. Just about make it out. Just. Maybe it'd help if I just knelt down. Yeah, that's better. Trying to see what I'm doing from here. Yeah, that's better. What way does this one face? Maybe if I actually referenced my template, I'd have an easier time. That comes in. Okay. And like wondering whether it'd be easier to do it with one of these. And trying to keep its surface is hard. Maybe I have to use this. Yeah, that seems better. Okay. Again, I'm not anti being it messy as long as it's thematically appropriate. So I'll probably mess with various. Time being. Let me just trying to align it with the ones that were already up here as well. So it's still going to follow the pattern I drew, but it's going to conform a little more closely to what I already have. That's going to look best. And probably this, right? Probably. Yeah, that seems okay. I think those two are going to be my mains for this. This is such an awkward angle to do things at. I've got a horrible feeling I might be the only team lead in today at work. So I think I'm going to have to try and ride off of the hype of having figured this out and try and use it to retain a modicum of sanity. For the rest of the day. Not the worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. And I think I kind of need to roll with that a little bit. I think kneeling is going to be my best bet here. Have I taken it too far along? I'm getting confused. What's going to happen? Yeah, it should be up here. Ah. Long. So yeah. That's just come too far along, but that's no biggie, I can fix that. Come on. Come here. Come on. Be nice. I don't have time. Problem kind of solved. At least solved enough for now. And then just want to take it as far as that. And then let me reference my thing again, because I'm going to get confused. Yeah. So, like that. Now, can I get rid of some of this while I'm here? Can. That's probably going to help. Yeah, and that requires one of these. Always fix it in a bit. Now I just want to make sure I'm getting the right angles. So, yeah. About here. Yeah, about there. And then, again, trying to follow this line. Looks pretty good. Then want to match it up with this. You know, I don't mind how this is turning out. I don't mind. And this can only face in, right? Yeah. Yeah. That's fine, that makes sense. I can understand that. Then that feels like it's going to come in too deep. Makes me wonder whether this is high enough. I should be able to get this in here. Issue. Seems pretty good. Definitely think I'll end up going around this with another tool as well. But if I've at least stamped all of these, that is big progress. Y'all could just not be awesome. Don't like using this. Must be a better way. I have. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Screwdrivers. God, my genius is sometimes frightening. Hell yeah. Okay. That works. That works. Yeah, buddy. Okay. Right. Got to be these. This one can go away. Absolutely huge. Right. Then same with this. And this one. That's that. This one has to face in this way. Realistically, I can use the smaller screwdriver for that. Okay. Getting better. Definitely getting better. Right. Other one up here. I'll use the smaller one. Right. Right. It's just going to be easier. That's relatively okay. And then one more. Should be one more that goes up here. So I'm wondering whether I tool this in anyway. And if I scrub out this line, because yes, that is a thing, and it should be a thing, and whatever, but also, better to have options, I think. I also kind of want to sort this bit out. Getting more tools was just a really obvious solution to all of the problems I was having. I don't know why it took me so long to just go and look at what other stuff I had. I think it is just the classic, I've committed to this, so now I'm going to see it through, even though it's really dumb and isn't actually going to help me. It's the stubbornness. I need to get better at not being like that. At least I'm feeling less defeatist today. So I need to be careful that I don't allow that to cloud my judgment as far as how my workday is inevitably going to go. Because I know it's going to be bad today. And I kind of need to go into it prepped, really. Have I faced this the wrong way? Okay, now I'm confused. That one that way, that one that way, that one that one, that one that way. It's that one that way, that one that way. So this one should just be facing a different way. Yeah, there shouldn't even be one here. So let me just figure this out real quick. That's like that. And this should be... God, I get so confused so easily. That's how that currently needs to be up this way. So... let me rethink this one real quick. I'm still going to have to go along the bottom for sure. As they all do. But it's going to have to go along up here. Yeah. Okay. I believe I understand where I went wrong here. I believe I understand. Then, like this. Yeah. That's fine. Figured it out. At least I was able to clock it. Okay. Right. That has these in here also, which is good. Now, can I just move all of this again? Yeah, okay. I can just get rid of all the annoying little bits that are collecting. They are annoying. I'm gonna have to go in a second, and it's annoying me. But alas, I have not a choice. So I feel like if I keep going till past, I'm gonna end up late for work, and then that's gonna annoy me. It's just gonna be a big old mess. Main thing is, I managed to get these indented to an extent that I am more okay with. Yeah. They are less inherently disgusting, which is a plus. So all of these are useful. Now I'm thinking, as far as the snaky thing, I do happen to have this. It kind of seems to sort of work-ish. I think the trouble is I then need to make sure I have the same width for the other one that I make. And that's going to be interesting. So if I slice that off there, and that there, that is about right, in my opinion. Maybe slightly shorter. Yeah. About that. Go in there. So if I can just make another tinfoil sausage of the same width and length, then I should probably call it there and go and get ready for work. Because at least then I'm in a good position for the next time that I'm dealing with all this. Let's say I use this bit up here. That in there. That in there. That in there. See, that's thicker. Can I twist it a little bit more? That's better. It's a little lumpy, but is that actually going to matter a whole bunch? Because probably not. Not by the time I've covered it in stuff. So yeah, let me take off the thick bits. Is that? Take off this bit. Yeah, close enough. Close enough. If I got any bits I can just secure this little join with. It's a little dodge. Not that it really matters, I suppose. Same for this bit. Unless I just say screw it, and I tape it instead. Because it should be fine, but even so. Good enough. And I suppose I can just do the same with this bit up here, really. And at least then I've got snaky things that I can start with when I'm dealing with this next. Knowing that I want to take it around there. Like that. Cool. Okay. Yeah, then I can just play that. Yeah, okay, right. That's a strap. So, I know I will regret everything if I don't pack up and get my work stuff sorted. But managed to do the swirly things, and I don't hate them. So huge. But yeah, I don't know when I'll be doing this next. So, you know, it is what it is. If nothing else, it'll be Thursday. Um, yeah, I'll catch you guys in a bit. And I'm glad to be less mad about everything now. So yeah, catch you in a bit.